Today's Sonic discussion is rated E through M. That's right, we're talking about the first ever Sonic Direct. Captain Shadow and Pirate Sonic porn is being drawn at this very moment. Hey, have you ever heard of Amazon Luna? Me either. Sonic is going to the hospital after getting injured at the 2020 Olympic Games. All of this and more in 5 seconds. Everyone, please wait 5 seconds. Okay, talk about Sonic now.
Yeah, it was okay, I guess, right? Yeah,
I was counting. That was like 2.5. I'm not ready. Start over.
yeah, start over, Steven.
I would say give it a 5 out of 6. Pretty good.
Out of 6? What is this grading scale?
I like to be very unconventional.
Oh, well, there are 6 Chaos Emeralds in the original Sonic 1.
Oh. There was a Sonic Central today, May 27th, 2021. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, there was. There was a lot of Sonic news. I got very excited.
How was our general impressions? This was the first ever Sonic Direct, as it were.
I would say to piggyback, I think it was something you said earlier. It's like presentation-wise, it actually is really good, and it's like probably the best of anybody who's tried to ape Nintendo Direct. This is probably like the best. It's just the fact that it should have been long. They didn't have much to show off, which is why there was like less than 15 minutes. But it's like if they had more to show off and it was longer, I think it probably like would have been like a big presentation-wise, it would be like a bit better.
Hey. I agree with that. You stole everything I was going to say, so I agree with you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they could have padded it out a little bit, like had Evan Stanley sit and be like, yeah, I'm making comics, They could have even replayed the video they put on YouTube yesterday to make it a couple minutes longer just to...
That's what I was expecting. I was expecting that to be the intro. I was already emotionally braced to waste 2 minutes on that. Yeah.
Right. No, instead they just jumped right in, which was pleasantly surprising. And there was a lot in there. I think there's a lot to decompress, a lot to shift through. Be like, what Sonic are we going to deal with over the coming year? Because it is his 30th anniversary. That's the whole point of this, I guess.
Should we probably go in order to make this easier?
I mean, that probably is the easiest thing. Yeah.
Doesn't this kind of make you wish that we had a Sega Direct?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. This could have been part of it. Then it could have been Virtua Fighter stuff, and then something else after.
Lost Judgment, the game that they mentioned and misspelled in this video. Yeah.
Oh, did they misspell it?
They put an E in. How dare they, right?
And then they could, and then they can use that to go Shin Megami Tensei 5. Lol.
Oh yeah, that.
But as we all know, Sega doesn't make any other games aside from Sonic the Hedgehog, as evidenced by the fact that Sonic is now going to be in multiple games that aren't Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, David, how quickly you forget about the Sonic Virtual Concert featuring Crush 40 and Otani-san.
That's true, and also an orchestra.
They're there too. They might play music.
It's weird to hear Lights, Camera, Action as an orchestrated song.
Yeah, kind of cool though.
My guess is they'll avoid any Masato Nakamura music. Dreams come true because money. But
if we can rewind for a second, but still stay on the topic of music, I just love that the whole thing like starts off with that song from SA2 that's just like the marimba, and it's just like a slow jazz. It's like, what's it called? It's Event the Bass. Like that's how you start the whole thing off. So I love that song, but that's not how I would have started the first Sonic Central.
But I'll be honest, when I heard that song playing, I thought, oh no, we really are going to get Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 remakes. This is the foreshadowing, which didn't happen. Spoilers.
Do you want to know the kicker? That was the ending music too. Or it was like some SA2 cutscene music at least. And that's where I was like, oh, okay, yeah. You got something to show me, don't you, Iizuka? Yeah, open up the jacket. Didn't happen.
So weird that they would use... But then again, Sonic Adventure 2 is an iconic Sonic game. So I guess it's fine. Nobody would have thought, if they were playing Green Hill or they were playing... I don't know. I was going to say the Colors music, but then they did show that. That's getting ahead of ourselves. Right.
I like that they faked out the virtual concert price. I like that they were like teasing it'll be $19.99 to attend. It's actually free. I was like, yeah, okay. I know you have people who would pay $20, but no one fell for that. Come on, guys.
I do wonder about, because they mentioned Crush 40, but I'm like, is it just Johnny or just June, or are you gonna try and have them both do it at the same time? Because it's like, how's that gonna work?
They both get put into plastic boxes. It'll be
Yeah.
fun.
I think it's safe to say the video they've shown is the video they have ready to show on the 23rd, and that they'll both be there.
Right. They've all been tested or vaccinated. They're all healthy.
Maybe.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. I just think it's today. I was reminded that Sonic's brand ambassador, his first name is Ivo.
Yeah.
I just think that's amazing that we have Ivo and we also have Doug Bowser for Nintendo. And I'm just like,
Yes.
this feels intentional.
Yes. Sega bases all of their hires on the names of the Nintendo staff. They're like, they hired a Bowser, did they? Well, we're going to get an Ivo, but he'll be pronounced Evo.
John Motobug is retired.
I think my favorite is Robert Master Chief over on the Xbox brand.
He said our very first Sonic Central. Does that mean there's going to be more Sonic Centrals?
If they have more news, I feel like they used up a lot of their news today.
Hey, David, you heard Izuka. He said there's even more coming soon.
That's right, but he could be lying.
Izuka would never lie.
Well, I'm sure they're always working on things, and that there's stuff in the pipeline. You know, like news about the movie, news about the comics, news about the show. Because I would assume that at some point by the end of the year we'll see something from the movie or the show or whatever. But I feel like we're still getting ahead of ourselves. We just talked about the virtual concert, right?
And we haven't even talked about the Sonic suit in the 2020 Sega Olympics game that does not feature Mario or really Sonic at all, but it does.
It does have Sonic. At first I got confused because I thought it was just footage of a man in a suit.
It does
Which
look
means-
just real enough.
Good graphics.
The graphics of the Sonic suit are so good. I'm like, wow, this is what I want in a Sonic game. And but yeah, you know, well, I mean, I guess all of this is sort of just like little dribs and drabs, right? The Sonic being in another Olympic Games for an Olympics that won't happen ever. Him being employed at the 2 Point Hospital. If you notice,
man.
he's not a doctor. That means Mario still trumps him in terms of medical degrees.
Oh shit!
Well, but David, to be fair, in the Mushroom Kingdom, anyone can get a doctorate. They can give a doctorate to a baby. They can give a doctorate to 4 Goombas in a trench coat. They can give a doctorate to a literal corpse. It's like you shouldn't take Mario's doctorate seriously at all.
Hey, that baby's damn good at being a doctor.
He knows which pills to give you.
Oh man,
That 2 Point Hospital stuff looked cool.
are you guys excited to put a 30th anniversary rug in your hospital?
Yeah, actually I am.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Steven, I thought of Nick when that came up, and I was like, that's the one guy who's going to enjoy this. It's Nick.
I was just gonna say I can't wait to put the Green Hill totem pole in my hospital.
I, for one, can't wait to spend $90 to play Sonic the Fighters.
Oh, hey! That brings us to our next topic, the best news of the day. The Sonic the Fighters arcade cabinet and Sega's smash hit RGG Studios developed game Lost Judgment. Clearly the Game of the Year contender coming in hot, folks.
It's a sequel to
It is a
Judgment, which
Yes.
is a spin-off of Yakuza. And all
Oh,
those
it's so
games
good.
have games in it, but now they have Sonic.
This is the kind of thing we'd always joke about in the Yakuza fandom. Was like, oh, what if Sonic the Fighters was in Yakuza? That'd be funny, right? And now we're here. It feels kind of weird.
Right. And that does this mean it ties in thematically with Shenmue? You know, since the first game had the Sonic the Fighters capsule toys. So now there's actual Sonic the Fighters in the Yakuza world. It all ties together, right, into an overarching Sega universe.
Have they said if there are any other arcade cabinets you can play in that game, or is it just the fighters?
There was a Fighting Vipers cabinet right next to it. I don't think they've said anything else yet, though.
Right, they're saving that for the Fighting Vipers Direct.
Yeah. Those fans are going to wake up from the dead that day for the Fighting Vipers Central. That's what's...
They're finally gonna get number 3.
Oh,
I've been
man.
waiting. I've been hoping.
I'm looking at I wrote up a little summary here for us here, and this is great because we've gotten to the 4th point, and I've already forgotten what I meant. I typed future collaborations planned. I guess that means with other games, but I already forgot what I meant by that. So that's cool.
Well, that was what you're talking about. Yeah, because they go through this, and then they're like, oh, Sonic will be cameoing and appearing in more projects in the future.
Oh, right. They show Minecraft. No one talked about Minecraft.
Oh, yeah, Minecraft. Yeah.
Yes, they show Minecraft for half a second.
So, what's confusing about the Sonic Minecraft thing is I thought there already was Sonic Minecraft stuff because I find it hard to believe that Mario got licensed for Minecraft before Sonic.
Oh.
Yeah, weirdly enough.
I think people have built Sonic in Minecraft, but there's never been any official crossover.
Wow.
Mario was licensed first because when it was on the Wii U for the first time, that was done as like a big deal of like, holy crap, Minecraft's on the Wii U, so they put Mario in as like an incentive for you to want to do it. It's like I think that was how Mario like got in like so early.
Let me tell you, I typed just Sonic into the YouTube search bar for the first time in a long time a few nights ago, and I just scrolled for like 5 minutes just to let my brain rot. You could believe that Sonic was in Minecraft because holy shit. There was just I just get intermittent videos of like Sonic in Minecraft, like bleeding and like bleary-eyed and shit. And it's just like, oh no, Sonic fell in Minecraft, episode 673. So I could believe it. Anyway, though, Sonic Colors.
It's a good series. Oh, right. Yeah.
Did you know?
Just jumping in. Right.
Sonic 3 and Knuckles LP has finally been finally not dated.
Oh, right. Yes, I think this is probably the news that like all the other stuff is, hey, here's some fun things, some fun crossovers. You're gonna see that, but this is the beginning of the meat and potatoes, and probably the main focus of this entire Sonic Central, I'd say, right? The Sonic Colors Ultimate. It's been rumored for a little while. There was that leak on the German recording studio that they'd been responsible for making dubs of Generations onward, and they were like, oh, Sonic Colors. Everyone went, this is interesting. And then that one French retailer went, yeah, it's coming, I swear. And now we've got official confirmation. Sonic Colors Ultimate, that's the name of it. There's new key art. I like the key art. Key art is nice.
It's good.
They showed off some of the levels. Reception has been a little mixed as to the way they look. But I mean, it's nice that it's coming. Okay, go on.
It looks like Sonic Colors, all right.
Sure fucking does, man.
When you buy it, you can get a shoeless baby Sonic keychain.
Oh man, yeah. All of the extra content. If you wanted to pay what I presume will be $20 extra for the digital deluxe, which is in line with the other two Sega have done at this point, you can get almost exclusively movie Sonic tie-in digital products, which is understandable, but a weird fit. If it was movie Sonic and also here's some Sonic Colors themed things, I would have been like, yeah. But to run through it real quick, the digital deluxe, you get early access, which I think means you'll play it on like Friday instead of a Tuesday, which is worth $20.
Sega / Atlas.
I mean, those extra days are important.
No, don't support this. I'm sorry, I gotta say it outright. Don't support this bullshit.
The LPers gotta get it out first.
Oh man,
that's right. I'm gonna start my speed run for Ultimate.
Guys, it's a business expense for FTCR, I swear. Oh. So you get exclusive music. There's no indication of if that's like in game or like a dumb zip file. There are gold and silver wearables because Sonic has like outfits now. You get exclusive player icons, which I guess is.
I want to go back to they had a whole trailer where he's wearing the gold and silver wearables. So was that trailer for only the deluxe thing?
No, the trailer has more than just gold and silver because there's like the paint splattered shoes and like the white ones or the clear ones. Like it looks like there's bound to be a lot. I guess kind of like Mario Odyssey, except probably not as interesting. because Mario wears full clothing and Sonic's just got the shoes.
I was thinking it seems like a very stripped down kind of borrowed elements from the Avatar customization in Forces. Like it feels like they just took some of that and were like, oh, here, throw it into colors.
To finish this out and then wrap back around to that though, exclusive player icons and the Sonic movie boost, which I think literally just means there's electricity on them because that was in the trailer.
Yeah.
To wrap back around, I think they could have done a better job of saying, hey, this is a thing now, and if you give us $20, you can do these things. Because it kind of just lists these, and like you go back to the trailer and you're like, yeah, I guess his shoes are different there, huh? But I feel like this trailer should have been like, hey, here's what we're doing. You can customize Sonic now, I guess, and I don't think it matters at all, but I feel like if you're going to ask for money for this for people, you should highlight that a little better. I don't know. There's 4 months. They have time. But like, the one thing I'll say, right, Stefan, like you mentioned, like I said, this was a really good presentation, and I still stand by that. But it also had the Nintendo Direct downfall, where you have to go to Twitter after and get a lot of the actual info you would want.
Yeah, like I would say there's a difference between like presentation versus information. It's like the information is like very all over the place. Especially there is something else later on where it's like where it's like a big there is like a couple things later on that are like a big wait what, and then later they had to do a little Twitter asterisk going like, oh yeah, by the way, this is what's happening. So it's like like the other things that you mentioned with the color is like there's going to be they added Metal Sonic challenges that was like in a little blurb that was like in I forget where it was found, like it was like a press release somewhere.
That wasn't mentioned anywhere, but like that's one of the more interesting things, like, oh, Metal Sonic Racing, that's pretty, that can be fun. I mean, I would hope it'd be the actual levels and not the game world, whatever, Game Land, yeah, that's what we call it. You know, I posted a screenshot in the chat. If you look at it, look at Sonic there.
Yeah, the electricity.
Yeah, but like the spines seem a little.
Oh man, what if from the front he looks like movie Sonic?
You know,
David. Whoa.
It could be. It's hard to tell because it's like, oh, is that just the effect, or have they actually added in like the spines? Because the spines are very specific in movie Sonic, you know. So it's hard to tell. It could just be a trick of the eye, and it is just the electricity. But
for some reason, it kind of looks like the picture that you posted kind of looks like the Unleashed Wii version of Sonic running, like because that one has a very like the color and the way his spikes are kind of like positioned when you're running is that very kind of like downward squished in. It's like it kind of looks like, but I can definitely see it like that being actual movie Sonic.
Yeah,
I guess if we want to acknowledge some rumors, because we will be acknowledging some rumors much later on in this. If you go by the website Shadow of a Hedgehog, who mentioned Sonic Colors Ultimate, some of what they said appeared to be credible, and one of the things they mentioned outright was a movie Sonic skin. They didn't say a movie Sonic boost the way this does. They did say a movie Sonic skin. So this might be a little more than it's letting on, or maybe they're wrong. I don't know. It's worth considering, though. There was smoke before this fire.
Right. I mean, it could be a thing where somebody just heard movie Sonic and went, oh yeah, he's in the game, when really it was just, oh, we're gonna put in the effect as a nice little wink and a nod for people. Although then it's like, well, what is the power then? Because there's already electric based wisps, and it's like, oh, I don't know.
I don't think it's gonna be a power. I think it's just gonna be pure aesthetic.
Me too.
Yeah, that I guess so. But like all the wisps are supposed to be cool powers, so if it's just aesthetic, that seems silly.
Hey, speaking of wisps, what if I told you that the Jade Wisp from Team Sonic Racing's in this game? Do you remember that one? I didn't.
I didn't even realize that was a new wisp. I just kind of assumed that was just
nobody played Team Sonic Racing. That's why.
I did. I don't remember it. According to the press release, the Jade Wisp will let you phase through solid objects to get to new pathways, which to me says we didn't want to make new level design too much for it. So sometimes you'll probably be able to go through some walls for a shortcut.
Oh.
Because otherwise, again, why wouldn't you show that off? That's a whole new feature of your game.
Does that have the power to break the entire game? I feel like it could.
Maybe?
Some people are speculating that it's going to be like the invincible Tanuki suit, so it'll let you phase through everything. Nothing can hurt you. I think that's what people are. Yeah, it might be. I don't know.
I could see that. That'd be good for like younger players.
Wouldn't it be funny if you phase through the floor? Oops.
Are you guys ready to play this on the Xbox Series X, but not PS5? Because it didn't list PS5 on there.
No. And it listed Epic Games, but not Steam.
Oops.
This is an Epic exclusive currently, apparently.
Apparently, yeah. I know that there's some websites that also mention Steam, but like, I guess it's a little up in the air if that means at one point it was going to be both and Epic paid the money, or if they only mentioned Epic here and then it's going to come to Steam later or at the same time. I mean, eventually I'm sure it'll be on Steam no matter what, because every game that's an Epic exclusive eventually gets on Steam. So
Also, I'm pretty sure Sega makes most of their Sonic money from Steam anyway. So
yeah, honestly.
Something that we're going to talk about later in this discussion lists one of these future games as just PC. So what's going on? We need to get to the bottom of this.
Well, because PC can be anything. It can be Epic, it can be Steam, it could be
They
one.
haven't chosen a side yet.
Could be GOG. Good old games.
Luna. Yeah. Luna's real. I saw it.
Yakuza 0 got confirmed for Luna quietly right after this. They're like, hey, by the way, yeah, okay, do it. All right.
Right, which they could have mentioned if this was a Sega Direct, but it's just a Sonic one.
Yeah, Ivo. Come on, man. But yeah, I don't know. Look, I want to see more of this thing. Like, it's a new Sonic product. I'll probably buy it. I'll play it. I wanted to replay Colors anyway. I think it generally looks nice. Some of the side-by-side screenshots haven't been flattering, but
No.
I want to give it a little time and see if they work it out. There's a really good thread, and I'll link this in the description if I remember to upload it, from Dario Sama, who, had worked on stuff like the Unleashed project for generations. He was just kind of going in tweet by tweet and saying like, oh, this is clearly displaying wrong, perhaps due to this issue, etc. Really good thread to look through. But there was like this really flattering screenshot of a Sweet Mountain comparison that showed that they went in and added more level geometry, and it looked really nice compared to the Wii version. So I'm holding out some hope that this can be a really cool thing by the end of it. But maybe we've seen how it'll look, and we'll just kind of have to deal with it.
I know one of the mentions of the blurb also mentioned that they were like retooling the controls a bit. So like that was like, cause I remember like, yeah, even like when I'm playing it, like there are parts of like the controls that are like slightly stiff just because of the way it was designed, like to kind of be like, it's like because it was designed to that you can control it like with the Wiimote on its side or like with classic controller. So it's kind of fit with that like D-pad-esque movement in mind. So it's like, it's slightly stiff, but it's like a very full analog control, like redesigning it with full analog control in mind. Like, oh, I think I'd like to see that. Like maybe like the one of the kind of like the bigger issues with colors, maybe like fixing that. Like, oh, that make it more like it does feel more. This does at least have the potential to be the definitive version of colors. Which if there is that, at least it'd be like, oh yeah, I'd be all for that.
Right.
So, yeah, well, give me a reason to go back and explore, because I'd be like, colors has always been the game of like I like, but it's not one I want to go back to all the time. So it's like, oh, give me a reason to go back to it. And it's like, oh yeah, I can try it out and see if I like it better or not.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. I haven't touched colors probably since right before Generations. I turned it on for 2 seconds a couple months ago and just was like, I'll play this later, and turned it off.
Did you get to the underwear joke and go, oh no, and then turn your Wii off?
Oh yeah, there's a man, since it is just essentially a port, that script's gonna be exactly the same, won't it?
Yep.
Yeah, it's great.
The color script is fine,
right? Hey, but you know who Pontac and Graf won't be writing?
Roger Craig Smith's new dialogue in Sonic Colors: Rise of Lyric cartoon.
No, Rise of the Wisps.
Rise of Lyric.
Yes, he did that. Oh, one thing I guess I don't know if we mentioned this, but Blind Squirrel Games are the people behind the Sonic Colors port that's coming out. They were also behind Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So if you liked that remaster, maybe you'll like Sonic Colors. And if you hated that remaster, well, I guess
I've heard mixed things because they also did the BioShock collection, and the general consensus seems to be they up the technical and visual fidelity in ways, but perhaps lose the artistic vision sometimes in the process in specific instances. So that seems to be applicable here too. I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see.
From some of the comparisons, it does seem that way, but I guess we won't really know. And regardless, there will be somebody who mods the game to make it look exactly like it did on the Wii.
Yeah, so you know,
that
it'll
will
work
happen
out.
no matter what. But yes.
So Roger had a
cartoon.
tenuous 4-month absence from the Sonic the Hedgehog series. Fans were emotionally devastated. Across the country, you know, there were just cries every day of like, who's the next Sonic? Bring Roger back. Some people were legitimately going to the hospital over this, and we're glad to confirm that Roger's back. His stressful 4-month absence, during which time there were such games as... He's back, and now he'll be in this cartoon, and it looks really nice. I really like the way this cartoon looks.
Has there been anywhere that said who's working on it? Because it doesn't look like it doesn't look like it's Tyson Hess, and he didn't mention anything about it, so it seems like it's not him and his team doing this.
I haven't seen anything about who's working on it, so
All I've seen is that it's imitating one of the Sonic Team artist styles. Like there's some Sonic Channel art that lines up really well with this style. It has a Sega Proudly Presents, so maybe there's some... That to me would have said like Tyson's involved, right? They seem to like to slap the Proudly Presents on for things of that nature. But yeah, I don't know. I think they're just kind of like, man, there's a cartoon. You could watch it.
I'm also like I'm wondering if like is this gonna be like those like all of the Tyson Hess ones with their like each episode's only like 3 or 4 minutes, so we're gonna get like less than 10 minutes total, or is it like, oh, each episode is like maybe like 10 plus minutes, so it's like, oh, you get like a lot of decent meat out of this animation? Because like I feel like if it is gonna be like really short, especially if they're going full, like the whole thing's like, oh, this one's like fully voiced and like having a dialogue, it's actual story. I'm like, I hope it's like it's longer and it's not just like the short like little bites that Mania Adventures or Team Sonic Racing or Chow in Space were.
Well, my biggest takeaway from this is they said Rise of the Wisps is the first of more to come with animated Sonic shorts.
Right. Go on.
No, that's it.
Oh, okay. Right. Well, yeah, because that makes me wonder if, like the next Sonic game will then also have animation. Like the idea is, or even the compilation, which we'll talk about in a minute. Like maybe every major Sonic release, they're like, well, we're going to keep on pushing animation because it seems to work. People have liked it so far. So, I mean, I won't say no. I just hope that they all are able to maintain a certain level of quality, and that it doesn't eventually devolve into we made this in Flash in 5 minutes and Flash has been discontinued from the internet, so oh well.
So you can't actually watch it. Fuck off and leave us alone. Read the comics, assholes. Yeah, I don't know. My thought when watching this was first, oh, I really like the way this looks. Second was, it's going to be awkward if this looks nicer than Sonic Prime. Like, if this is more appealing and interesting to look at. We haven't seen Prime yet. We'll get to Prime. But I was just like, man, they might have set the stage a little weirdly here, depending on how that shakes out. But yeah, I think it's safe to assume every time there's a game, you'll probably get a nice little short with it. I could see the social media team commissioning some of these for, like, the holidays or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I could see these becoming more regular, basically.
Yeah. That was one of the neat things about Unleashed. It got Night of the Werehog, and then they just stopped doing that.
Well, Night of the Werehog, and also all of those like little like all the little shorts and like those a minute and a half like trailers of like Sonic and Chip doing the Kung Fu Panda thing. There's the one of them in Adabat with the coconuts. It's like all of those little like those little like short like those CG shorts. It's like I'd love to see more of those.
Right, yeah. So they did it for Unleashed, and then they didn't do anything for the next few. And then Mania, after it came out, they went, well, maybe we should hear. They didn't go back and do one for Forces, though.
That's okay.
Well, Forces had the digital comics, so it was already covered, of course.
Right, and I mean, Mania Adventures only came out after they did the physical release. Forces was already all done and dusted, so I guess it all ties together somehow, I think.
Yeah. I guess
but
the
yeah.
other thing of note to overtalk your transition, the Jade Wisp is in this cartoon. That's the only thing I was going to say, just to tie it all back together. What were you going to say, David?
Oh no, I just went yeah. Like
Yeah.
it was just me signaling the end of whatever I was saying.
In that case, what if I told you? I don't know that I love this name.
Oh.
The Sonic Origins collection, or is it just Sonic Origins? Looks
Was
like
that
it's
the
just
EA
Sonic Origins.
digital storefront?
Ugh. Can I play Apex Legends on this thing? What are we doing?
Yeah,
Chris,
it
Oh,
Hi.
we don't even have a working logo. I mean, that might be a working name, you know. So
That's true. Yeah.
we also saw exactly 0 seconds of footage from this collection. So they
You,
showed footage. Wasn't
yes.
from it. Yes. Right. So they announced Sonic Origins, where it's like, oh, hey, we're going to release a compilation, which is also something that was leaked on that French site, the French retailer whose name escapes me. What is it? So Game something.
So
or other?
gamely.
So
Yeah.
gamely, right? And all they really said was, hey, they showed a graphic of all the Genesis boxes and Sonic, or the main 1, 2, 3 and Knuckles, and then CD, and they're like all together. At first, I went, "Oh no, why'd you put CD at the end?"
PD
That's-
comes after us. 3 and K. It's canon.
No, it's not.
They're making a statement on the timeline. I can't believe it.
3 worlds, 3 theory.
I think the real reason that somebody else said was 3 is smack dab in the middle. It catches your eye because that is the reason, you know, the that somebody would buy this. Like, well, wow, here we go.
The big selling point.
The
selling
Yeah.
point. Yes, that's what I was looking for. I was like, I can't think of words. Yes,
Yeah,
that's,
it's basic. Yeah, it's basically like, yeah, you see Sonic Origins collection is like, okay, another collection. You see 3 and K, it's like, oh shit, they're actually gonna put 3 and K. That's at least interesting. Then you see the more footage, and it's like, holy crap, that's the Taxman footage of 1, 2, and CD. Does that mean? And then they show 3 and K footage, and it's 4x3, and you're like, oh no. And then later on after the event, the Sega person tweet out being like, oh no, don't worry, 3 and K is going to be in widescreen. So it's like, okay, so
Yeah, Katie.
so that is why they're waiting until 2022 to release this and not putting it out now.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Katie tweeted that out. The social media manager.
You get the impression that maybe this hasn't been in the works for very long.
no,
Right, because they didn't have anything to show. Because if it had been in the works for a while, it's like, oh, you know, Sonic 1 and 2 and CD exist, and they exist in widescreen and in modern, like, it seems like if it had been longer than I don't know, if this has been if this had been in production longer, that footage would have not been marked original gameplay.
Yeah.
But everything was, which means it works on Apple TV. That's where we recorded this, and you're like, okay, that's cool, thanks. But if the main selling point is here's 3 and Knuckles, here it is in widescreen. They also said, oh, there's going to be some extra gameplay whatever modes and features. Very vague. I guess because they don't want to state anything definitively, especially if this collection is still early on in its development. I'm excited that they'll all be together, and Sonic 3 being in widescreen and being part of the overall collection will be nice. I just kind of hope there's more.
Yeah.
The one thing that I really would like is if this was actually a successor to a successor to Sonic Jam. Like, it should be Sonic Jam Plus. It should be those games. It should have a Sonic World, with the timeline and the commercials and key art and concept art behind the scenes. Like, I would love to see a collection that has the Sonic 2 and 3 pre-order VHS tapes that were only in Japan. I'd like to see, even if they don't go full out, here it is widescreen and brand new, like, you have the Game Gear and Master System games, those could be emulated. Chaotix, just throw it in there as well, have it emulated. The Sega Sonic, Sonic R, the Saturn version of 3D Blast, and Sonic Eraser, of course. with the greatest
yes.
soundtrack ever made.
What could be really cool? Yeah, for this, what if like the Sonic world was again not to really talk a lot about what's we're going to talk about at the end, but what if Sonic World was like a little teaser / prototype of what to expect in that next game? It's like they kind of take the build of what they're like whatever they're doing for that next game and kind of have like a little like hub world thing of like, oh, here you play as Sonic, so you have a little taste of, oh, this is how Sonic's gonna play in the next big game, and you like run around the area, do those little random missions, and then explore like the concept art and stuff like that. Like that would be like probably the best way of like implementing the Sonic world while acting as like kind of like a hint for like people who want to see more of like the next game.
I think that sounds really cool. And I would be very excited to log on to the internet and see classic fans complain about modern Sonic being in their classic collection.
Well, if it had modern Sonic, you know, he puts his hand in his, you know, in his chin and is like, "Wow, I remember doing that," because of course this is one world and one timeline. Then I'd be okay with it. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no, it is Sonic Origins, which means this is his origin. This isn't the classic. This isn't the Sonic Classic Collection because they already did that. This isn't the classic Sonic Collection. This is Sonic Origins. So right. Yeah, this is one Sonic.
You can explore Sonic's dark past in this hub world and then go play Sonic 3.
Right. There's you know, interactive, there's doors for every game, and there's one for Chaotix, and every time he walks up to it, he's like, "No, never again," and turns around. That's why it's not there.
I'm just going to say it. I said it in the FTCR server, so I'm sorry if you boys read this. This just needs to be the 91 to 98 collection. They should just throw everything into an emulator at a point. It's all here. Fuck off. We don't need to ever make another classic Sonic collection again. Make it definitive, make it nice, make it pretty. Just get it done. Yeah. If you can't put Sonic Patrol car playable in this thing, just have a little video in a nice little museum section or something that's like, here's this game, here's what it was, here's when we think it released. No one kept records. And just fucking get it over with.
LP of it.
Yeah, here's the FTCR LP. We didn't pay them.
I want some limited edition trackballs, Sonic, Mighty, and Ray, that you can buy at the Sega stores. So you can play Sega Sonic the Hedgehog properly. That's what I want. Wouldn't be that hard to emulate Waku Waku, right? Sonic Patrol Car or Cosmo Fighter. I feel like those would be super easy. The one that would be hard would be Popcorn Maker because you can't put popcorn in your Switch.
Yeah, that's the thing about MAME. They could technically license it, I think. I'm not trying to be the guy who sits here and is like, "Oh man, everything is so easy. Why don't they just do it?" But also, right. Why don't they just do it?
I mean, this collection isn't coming out until next year. So
yes.
Like the fact that they're spending so much time to put it together would imply that they are going, you know, they're going to use that time to, you know, really shine it up. And that would be like, so there's the hope that it's more than just the 5 16-bit games. Because even like saying, oh, here's bonus Genesis games, like throwing the Spinball and 3D Blast or the Genesis version of Flicky, you know. Because if it is just the 5, that means that would the only Sonic Jam had 4 games, the Classic Collection on DS, which is the last Sonic, the Sonic Central Collection, this is the last one that came out, that only had 4 games. Every other collection has more. If this one only has 5, then that means like Mega Collection and Gems Collection technically has more games, and that seems wrong to me.
Yeah.
How many Game Gear games can you unlock in Sonic Adventure?
12.
All 14. Oh yeah, all 12 of them.
Yep.
Sonic Adventure DX is a bigger compilation than this.
Yeah,
that's right. It becomes 13 games at that point because you got Sonic Adventure in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I guess that's it for me. It's like I just want to not have another Sonic collection again. Like make the definitive one, and then you can port it to every console in existence after, and you're done, and it's easier money.
Right.
Let's bite the bullet. 30 years. Let's just get this done.
Because we're also hitting a point where collections are, you know, try to be more robust. You know, Digital Foundry does its collections, like the Lion King. Aladdin one, you know, has some extra bells and whistles, you know, different versions. The one Aladdin prototype. Right. You know, even Capcom, you know, throws in the extra modes, and here's the art galleries and stuff. Sega helped define like, ooh, what could a great collection be with Sonic Jam? Because before that, it was just here's a 2-in-1, here's a 6-in-1, or Mario All Stars. And Mario All Stars is great, but then Jam went, we can do it better. And Sega should continue doing that. I guess we don't really know who's behind the development of this at all. We don't know if they've licensed it out to an outside studio, if it's actually inside Sega. You know, is it M2? Is it not? Like, we don't know who's behind it. I guess all we can say is that it seems to be a bit more than just ROMs in an emulator.
Yes. I am ultimately excited for it because the idea of having a definitive set of the classic games to just have and get it over with finally is very appealing.
Right.
Just in the long line of Sonic collections, if that's all it is, it's going to feel like a bit of a letdown, but ultimately good at the end of the day.
Right. And the menu should be done in release order because I don't want to hear anything about any timeline being deferred from the menu.
You tell him,
CD comes
David.
between 1 and 2.
Yep, okay. Now, what if I told you Sonic Mania, Team Sonic Racing, and Sonic Forces are coming to Amazon Luna and PlayStation Now?
Yay.
Hey.
Ooh, next topic.
Hey, what if I told you Sonic mobile games are happening? Do you remember those? Oh man, Pirate Shadow and Sonic Dash, the game that still keeps getting updates, even though there's like 3 Sonic Dash games now.
Yes, it's its own trilogy.
What if I told you Sonic Forces Speed Battle? You'll be able to battle friends in private races. There's Storm the Eagle with a luau.
Chris, you can play with your friends for a limited time event. So only for a little while.
30 days from now, I have to meekly approach you boys and be like, I'm sorry, we can't play Sonic Forces Speed Battle anymore. Sega Hardlight won't let us.
We should play some Speed Battle together. It'll be fun.
Oh,
Does everyone have it?
No.
Well, then I guess I'll play it by myself.
But I might have to download it because Sonic the Werehog's coming to it.
That's right, he is.
They just showed close-ups of the Werehog, and I saw some tweets of people being like, oh my god, they're doing it. And then they didn't.
That is a big tease. But maybe that is just a way to gauge interest. Because if the Werehog event does well, then maybe Sega will go, perhaps we should port Unleashed to modern consoles and PC.
I will be upset with them if that's the metric, because I don't want to download Sonic Forces Speed Battle to say, hey, I'll give you literal money for Sonic Unleashed again because I'm an idiot.
That's fine. Look, Sega has a weird way of going about their metrics, I feel like.
You're not wrong. Also, Sonic Racing is on Apple Arcade to round this out. I forget that thing exists, and I think about Apple Arcade games more than most people. So, anyway, they showed a boy band. They're riding Sonic Prime. That's pretty cool.
Oh wait, so but the Team Sonic Racing Apple Arcade is that classic Sonic in a drift car? What is that, or is it just a thing?
It's classic Sonic in a classic car in classic zones with all new music. Wait, what?
Oh, okay. I don't know. I love that boy band.
It's so funny.
I saw it and I wrote in a Discord and then realized that Smoothies also wrote the same joke that I did. But we didn't write it in the same place, so neither of us. I didn't steal it.
I said it during my live stream, so truly we were all destined to be together.
Yes, I said it reminded me of a band that was getting back together after 15 years, and this was there.
Yeah, I was literally like, is this the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones? Like, what the fuck's going on here?
All I said was, can't wait for this album to drop.
It's good.
Then they go, yes.
I appreciate it highlighting Joe Kelly as like the guy who's like the one who's like in front, kind of introducing it. Just because he's one of my personal favorite comic writers. He's done a lot of work on both Spider-Man, Deadpool, and also the Spider-Man Deadpool book. So it's like he knows a lot about like he's very, but he has done like a lot of Man of Action that is like his company, but it's always been like like you mean Man of Action, it is like those 4 people, so it's always been like they're doing so much. Like they, I do think it's funny how they mention like, oh, Ben 10 and Big Hero 6 and a bunch of other shows that they failed to mention because the rest of their work is kind of but it's like they're very they are very all over the place. So it's like it's still not like kind of like what we mentioned in the Prime Video. It's not a fair game of like, oh, this is definitely going to be good, or it's like, oh, this is definitely going to be bad. It's you never know. But at least hearing like Kelly talk about it, it's like, oh, it sounds like he he sounds like he knows. I know he's a good writer, and it sounds like they have an idea of like what they want to do. They reveal that there's going to be 26 episodes, at least 26 episodes in the first season. And they showed off that little that new like Eggman kind of like design.
Yes, like it's like the logo thing. He also wrote some Superman comics, including Whatever Happened to Truth, Justice, and the American Way.
And it's true that he did a bunch of Superman. For some reason, he did a couple Superman Batman books. I thought he did more, but he's like he only did a couple Superman Batman books.
Right.
I wrote 0 notes for this section because nothing was talked about in the video.
That is true. They mentioned
we know the word Shatterverse is a thing now.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Let me tell you about my Shatterverse sometime.
Let's go into the Shatter.
And all I'm thinking of is just Rift Apart, because like when I hear Shatterverse, all I'm thinking of is like just Rift. It's gonna be exactly like Rift Apart, isn't it? It's just gonna be like those weird like kind of glass breaking, opening, like dimensional hopping.
At first, I thought he said Shadowverse, and I was like, "Oh no, we're getting 20 versions of Shadow, guys." Strap
Whole
in.
verse by Kirk Thornton. The fan base
like
will be in
Sonic.
shambles.
Why are there so many universes with Shadow, but not you? And Sonic's like, I don't know.
Oh,
Whoa.
yeah. I wish they had shown, even if they just like shown concept art of environments from the show. I know there's a logo in the background, but I just want an idea of what this thing was, and I feel like this would have been a good place to do it. And instead, I got to see Joe Kelly. He seems like a nice man.
Yeah.
I'd like to know about the show, though. We saw another cartoon. That looked pretty all right. Hope this one looks all right.
It's funny that the tie-in cartoon gets to overshadow the Netflix series. So.
I feel like honestly it's because they don't have anything usable to show, and I guess maybe they're too scared to show concept art for whatever reason. It's like they're like we want to show like actual complete like footage and stuff like that. So like
that'd be fair.
Even just like, here is what Sonic looks like. Here's a drawing. This is done. Here is Sonic.
I drew it.
Yeah, you could have just started drawing it right there.
I will say, with how us Sonic fans react to new Sonic designs, I can understand why they may be a little tepid about doing that.
Oh, right, because then everyone would be like, it's Boom all over again, and nobody.
The show sucks.
Nobody would be talking. Yeah, nobody would be talking about the games they announced, because they did announce 3 games in this.
Oh, are you saying there's another game to talk about, David?
What?
Yes, from King Ice.
Oh yeah,
right.
King Ice.
That's all that merchandise that they quickly showed.
Bling bling for all you hip hop fans.
Right, they mentioned
culture.
Right.
Oh.
King Ice was good. They showed the encyclopedia, even though we've already seen that. They showed some Jax toys, including that Death Egg robot playset thing, which is neat. Like,
right.
I wish I had that as a child, because I would have played with it, as opposed to now being an adult and going, do I keep it in the box or not? You know?
Yeah.
You don't have to buy it, David.
What?
No, he does.
But it's Sonic.
Oh, no, you're right.
Oh.
Right.
Come on, Steven.
Shit.
Right.
My favorite thing. I swear for a while, they end this by being like, you can check out all of this on the Sonic 30th Anniversary website. There's no link on this video. And I swear for like a few hours, there was no link in the description of the video. So I was just like, what do you want from me? What do you want?
Does the site exist now?
Yes, I'm looking at it. It follows the format of every Sega website currently, but it definitely exists and is literally everything that was in that. Oh, they show the classic the IDW Sonic 30th anniversary comic here that looks really nice. Could have put that in a video. I don't know.
Oh, so the merchandise. I want to go back to the King Ice Sonic jewelry. Okay?
Please do.
Because they show 4, right? You got Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Shadow.
Oh, I clicked into that from their website, by the way, and the page is not found on King Ice. So please continue as I figure this out.
So we got Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Shadow. Now, there are 4 of us here right now.
Oh, I shouldn't have let you continue.
What I'm saying is,
Who's who?
Yeah, who's getting which one? Now, I mean, I don't necessarily want to call it first, but guys, I might need to. So now you 3 get to fight over everyone else.
I'm not gonna fight. Someone just assign it to me. I don't care.
Steven, you get Knuckles. He's kind of raising his eye like, say what? I think that fits you.
Yeah. I mean, Knuckles was doused in hip hop culture in SA2, so it only makes sense.
That is, yes.
I would say I would go for Shadow because my character writing is very inconsistent.
That means I get to be Sonic. I always get the
sense.
leftovers, so that works out.
Because you're blue.
And I'm blue.
Right.
Oh.
Chris is not blue. I've seen him.
Right.
It's been a while, man.
There you go. We figured that out. Now we can
so
move
that's
on.
Sonic. That's Sonic Central. This ends with Ivo being like, "Yeah, I'm probably a nice person IRL, I guess." And then Iizuka like crashes into the frame, like, "Fuck you! I have more to say. Look at this." And then there's like 5 seconds of nothing, and you're like, "What?" And then it starts. There's no Sonic game. He's like having trouble running, and then he turns blue, and he's like, "Oh, my feet are really flat now." And
his little short rubbery legs are amazing. I love them. Why are they bending like that?
It's really good. I like it. I like the CG thing we saw, the teaser trailer.
And then he runs and then makes another hieroglyphic message, and then it's like, that's it. 2022.
It translates to "this one won't be great either," and then it ends.
Right. It said Sonic Team. That means Sonic Team is making it. Sonic Team.
That's true. Sonic Team.
Yes, that's their name.
From the team that brought you Colors and Generations.
Right. Although I guess in the IGN description it says Generations and Forces.
Oh my.
Which I guess is like those are the last 2 Boost games.
Mm-hmm.
So because if this game is meant to be Boost, which it might, I don't know. They didn't show it. They didn't show gameplay. They just showed the
Do we want to talk about the rumors? Because without the rumors, there's pretty much nothing to talk about.
Well, I mean, if anyone has anything else to say specifically about the minute and however
33 seconds. Yes, of course I have more to say. Are you kidding? I'm a Sonic fan.
Not even a minute. It is 30 seconds. Oh well.
No, I just want to say, not that anyone from Sega watches our fucking bullshit where all we do is shit on Sega all the time anyway, right? I feel like with the state of the Sonic franchise, you need to give a little more than this, right? The whole video was fine, but when no one is really sure about the direction of your franchise still, and like if it's going to be good and worth sticking around for, the CG trailer looks really like nice and detailed. Like it reminds me of older Sonic CG and not Sonic Forces CG, so that was nice. Like it's very pleasant to look at. It does a good job of being a teaser because you're like, what the fuck is this? But you don't have any substance to go on other than, I guess that's maybe a wisp. I feel like they just needed to fade this back out and then have Iizuka say, this is the Sonic project we're working on. Here's some of the very vague things we're aiming for. It might be a little different. It might be a little weird. We'll show you more soon or something.
I think it's like there is a difference between, I think, teasing and just being vague to like I think like Force, like the original Forces teaser when we just called it Sonic Resistance. I think that one does a good job of like you have like that minute long thing, but it give that the teaser gives you enough information to go by, like, okay, you have a vague idea of what the direction of this game is going to go in. So it's like just in that 1 minute. Or if you want to like say like the vaguest of vague teasers, you have the original Sonic Unleashed teaser where it's just Sonic with the ring, and then it like turns into the Werehog hand, and you're just like, what the fuck? Like that's a very good like just tease of like giving you nothing and everything at once. But this is just Sonic runs in a forest. He has like weird like electricity wisp type thing powers going around him. He makes a symbol that like literally nobody can figure out what it like. It's a completely nondescript symbol, and then 2022, and it's like, oh, that means, and it's that 2022 that probably means fall 2022, right?
Or holiday, like November.
Yeah, knowing Sega, so it's like, oh, a year and a half for that, and like, yeah, there's nothing like people were like, is this another Boost game? Is this possibly the Adventure remake? Like there was nothing to go by. It's like, and like you said, like that the fact that they're trying to get back their goodwill. So it's like, if they had more goodwill, I could see them getting away with this kind of like just this like nothing thing, and people and just going, haha, go nuts, and like you have no idea what to expect. But it's like, yeah, people are expecting something, so it's like you should at least give a vague idea of what this is supposed to be.
Yeah, I would even have settled for like, you know, it would have reinforced the complaint a little bit. But if I went to Twitter and there was like a paragraph from Iizuka being like, hey, here's kind of what we're aiming for, that would have been something. But I guess to set it up, to get into this, because why not talk about these rumors?
Should we say like, oh, if these rumors turn out to be true and you don't want any spoilers, turn this off now?
Yes, by my estimation, these are credible enough to be incredibly worth considering as at least at one point factual. Good luck avoiding this if you don't want to know, but if you don't want to know, thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe if you want. Basically, the 4K trailer, you know, obviously these assets were provided to press sites like IGN and stuff, right? Someone, I guess, just got a hold of the 4K trailer, or was maybe on the press list and just started looking through the metadata of the video, and there was a lot of stuff there saying things such as Rangers _ teaser 4K to SOA Sega of America, right? And there were like 52 references to Rangers, so it was pretty clear to be like, oh, this must be like Project Rangers or Project Sonic Rangers. And then naturally, someone did the logical thing and searched 4chan and found a post from January saying, I just did a focus test for a new Sonic game called Sonic Rangers, which is an open-world adventure game which takes heavy inspiration from Zelda Breath of the Wild. I did 2 demos, a 20-minute long exploration of an open world, and a final ? Boss battle. And I gotta say, if they'd given some indication to this, I'm not gonna say I love the direction of this, but it's at least way more interesting than that trailer, because that trailer really made it seem like, yeah, we're making another Sonic game. This sounds like the most experimental Sonic game in a long time, in a weird way. Like, it'll probably be more traditional than I'm expecting based on this, but it mentions like an open world with little enemies and puzzles and platforming challenges, XP, skill trees, combat sections that they describe as not great, but like this was from January, so who knows. The boss was a tree, there's a ghost girl, like we don't know what the fuck is any of this. It's way more interesting than that trailer.
Yeah. The biggest question mark I have in that whole thing is puzzles. I love puzzles.
Yeah.
I love Sonic, but I don't think the two should mix.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on what level of puzzle we're talking about. If they're light puzzles, it could maybe work. You know, like in Marble Zone, Sonic pushed a block. you know, something like that.
That's true. He did. I would say even think of like Sonic Adventure, right? I love Sonic Adventure. But every time I get to the part of Hot Shelter as Amy where I have to find those fucking blocks and put them in the 4, like I don't even want to do that, you know?
That's not even a puzzle, that's a task.
Right.
That's a chore.
Well, I mean, it's possible that whatever puzzles are in this could also be just tasks. Because we don't if it's because that description it doesn't it says, so there's like a hub world, right? And then it mentions levels that are generation style. So does that mean it's not boost until it is boost?
Do you know what the description is reminding me of Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, and it feels like this is like Sonic Team's version of this is like their attempt at doing that. Yeah, like a big hub world, the open world, like world that you can explore, have like slightly more combat oriented areas, puzzles that you do, and then have like sections that are more like boost focused. It's like I very much feel, and also the whole forest theme, the forest theming and stuff like that. Like that also makes me feel like Boom.
Made me think a little bit of that new Mario thing that came out too, where you kind of have like an isolated little area, and then you meet a certain criteria, and then more of the world opens up with little things to do and trying to accomplish. Right. It sounded like a Sonic version of Bowser's Fury in a weird way.
Yeah, and people like Bowser's Fury.
Bowser's Fury is amazing.
Yes. I don't know if this will be like Bowser's Fury, but there's certainly it certainly does seem interesting and ambitious. And Sonic Team, it's like, oh, ambitious, that means it could be really great, or it could
be a disaster.
Not. Yeah. I've always been felt a little weird about the idea of an open world Sonic, just because like the nature of the character, he runs around, like it seems like an open world on the surface seems to make sense, but at the same time Sonic seems very task oriented, like we want to get from A to B and you're running around in between, and if it's like, well, you can actually go anywhere and do anything in any order, I wonder if it's gonna feel a bit more I don't know, amiss, because Sonic isn't Mario, and Mario seemed to slide into the, oh yeah, you can be, explore a play field and do things out of order and it'll be fine. And they seem to do it well, but the play style of Mario that they developed in 3D lends itself more to that. And with the way Sonic is now, feels like you would have to radically change how you go about playing him. Like maybe an adventure style system would work better in open world than the boost, but if there are if it definitely feels like two different ways of how Sonic can play in the same game, two play styles, one character, and not even like modern classic or modern werehog, it's just here's Sonic and he can go about it different ways. I mean, that if they can pull it off, that would be really that would be interesting and might actually have it be like, wow, this is a game everyone could actually like. I guess Unleashed tried to do that a little bit with the hub worlds, even though it doesn't feel right when he's walking around in those hub worlds. Like he slides around way too. Like that's what I would be worried about, that, oh, he's slower, but he's still like sliding all over the place because the engine wasn't made for Sonic to be slow ever.
Yeah.
So that would be my fear if this is correct, which it seems like because of the name, Sonic Rangers.
Right.
So, it's like I am excited, but I'm also going to, be prepared that this might not work.
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
I feel like. Yeah,
go
please
on,
continue.
Chris.
I was just going to say, I feel like this, from a conceptual level, like on a design level, in terms of just general level design, I feel like this asks a lot of a team that on the last game they just released showed that they maybe don't have the greatest ideas for those things, even for more traditional setups. And I'm just so iffy on if something more freeform like this would give way to like a lot of creativity and good ideas, or if the entire thing will be mangled,
Is Sonic Team like always the same people working on something, or is it like does Sega like let people move around from team to team to spice things up?
I believe it to be that, where it's more Sonic Team is more of a free-form brand idea.
Okay, good.
The Yakuza studio is set up in the same way, where like there isn't really a set Yakuza team. People just kind of lapse in and out of it as needed, as I understand it.
That's good. Okay. Because I know Nintendo does that, and people like they switch over to different projects, they get different ideas, they stay inspired, they make fun games. I'm curious if that wasn't happening. with Sonic Team because they don't seem inspired, and etc.
Yeah.
Well, if the restructuring happened as we interpret it to be, which is there's the team that makes Yakuza, like they have a team name, and then there's everything else, which means Sonic Team is part of that pool, then it definitely would open the door for more freeform moving, as opposed to, you know, back in the mid 2000s when there are 20 teams and they'll never touch each other or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So because I would be surprised that the same person who was in charge of Forces is in charge of this game. I don't think there's been someone who's been consistently like the director between games, really.
Right.
Like the names are escaping me. I think one of the producers for Forces was the director of 06. Is that right?
Shu Nakamura. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I forget who the actual director was, but it was someone who was like involved in Lost World, but he wasn't in charge of Lost World, and you know, it switches around.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they was moving that. It's a lot of stuff like character and stuff moving around.
Yeah. So I mean
but those are still all Sonic, you know. So
but since they did some restructuring, then there might be like people who weren't part of Sonic are now there. I don't know. I guess the only thing that seems to be consistent is Iizuka sits atop and goes, "Hello, I'm Iizuka.
I exist."
I'm John Iizuka.
As I believe it was said, I haven't looked at credits to compare or anything, but I believe that last new Sakura Wars reboot Sega did supposedly had a fair amount of Sonic Team involvement. Just because, like, Sonic Team, I think, is like Sega CS1 or CS2, technically. Like, Sonic Team is encompassed by that banner. So I think they were just kind of moving around on that, and I think there was like some of them on Puyo Puyo, Tetris 2. So I don't know what Sonic Team is anymore, other than like a brand name, you know.
Yeah, I know a bunch of the Sonic Team. Yeah, Sonic Team did work on Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, and I know even like they used the Hedgehog engine 2 for that game as well.
Yeah, of all things.
Oh man.
I mean, it worked. Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 is amazing, so I'll take it.
I guess the next Sonic game might. I mean, you would assume it's using the Hedgehog engine 2 and all the related bits and bobs. But you never know. Maybe after Forces and they're like, this is strictly Tetris or whatever.
We got our Tetris engine. I'm just looking at this post again, and I guess what I'm curious about. Obviously, this is like a incredibly early sort of thing, right? I feel like this is like a vertical slice. This is let's throw in a bunch of elements just to get an idea across and get some feedback. So it does mention a lot of things like getting all the Chaos Emeralds, but one thing it mentions that gave me a raised eyebrow. If you get enough orbs, you can go to a portal and go to cyberspace, and the cyberspace levels are generation style, and the music goes hard as they quantify.
Yeah.
I wonder if cyberspace was like the name given to them, or if that's just them trying to describe it. Because obviously that would tie into that weird blocky effect we saw in the trailer today. But I'm sitting here thinking about how Infinite got away in Forces, and I'm just sitting here teetering on like, do they want to wrap that up, or are they just going to leave that and this is something different? Like, is this Infinite back with the, what's it called? The cube? The GameCube? And he's like, yes, I'm back, Sonic, fuck you. And Sonic's like, well, I guess I better slip into the Phantom Zone. Fuck. I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
Sonic gets enough
I don't
orbs,
know.
he can dab into a different zone.
Infinite's biggest weakness. It's his greatest weakness. He's like, not the dab.
Not the dab. Well, I guess we should point out, I don't know how stronger this one. There was another 4chan post that apparently was written right as the stream started, and it was like, hey, I'm the same guy from January.
Oh,
was
yes.
Before everyone was I guess it was posted before it was. I don't know. I guess I would have to look up the exact time stamp, because in the screenshot the timestamp means nothing to me, because I don't know who screenshotted it.
Yes, this just says like basically at 16:35:08 this was posted. Either way, it lines up enough with the other one to where I feel like it's probably that guy. Because who the fuck remembers a random Sonic rumor from January on 4chan and then specifically calls out aspects of it, right? Like it's probably that person.
Right, and I mean, most of it is exactly the same. Instead of generations, they say unleashed, which would imply like this is definitely boost, like these portals lead to boost levels. And then the only other thing it really mentions is just like, okay, would be it talks about the circle thing he does in the trailer where Sonic runs around the trees, and this person called it the spin cycle.
Oh man.
Whatever. So if that is what it's called or it's not what it's called, I mean, yeah, whatever.
It does seem to be described as a paraloop from Nights into Dreams.
Yes, that's probably the closest thing, which is, that's Sonic Team.
Yeah, that's a Sonic concept that comes from these hallowed halls, so to speak.
Yeah.
This also mentions again the Ghost Girl. It says the story revolves around a human ? Ghost girl thing, and I like that they're not sure.
Right. So it's like, what did you see? Did they look human or not?
Maybe it's kind of like in a similar design to the ghosts from Unleashed, because those ones are technically, I guess, supposed to be human, but they don't look human.
Yeah, there's two. There's two dude ones.
Oh, yeah, the girl and the two dudes. Yeah.
Yeah, but the girl looks a bit more human than the two dudes. So, it would be interesting if it was the same ghost girl, but I would be surprised. I mean, because Marza has definitely tweeted a lot of I forget what is her name? La. Right, like she's sort of become their mascot and has been, a lot of little doodles and sketches have been on their Twitter, and the CG teaser that we saw was also made by Marza. So I mean, it's possible that they're tying this into Unleashed somehow, but who knows? It might just be another ghost entirely, or it's King Boom Boo.
Oh man, he's the ghost girl.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm really glad this stuff was found, because if all we had was that teaser trailer, god, I at least can have an interest in this game now, like a curiosity for it. It mentions it's open world. I'm wondering if it's actual open world or just really open linear game design, which is technically different. It mentions the Ubisoft towers, which is where you have to, climb to the top of a thing and press a button to survey the landscape, and it fills out your map, right? That,
right.
It sounds. I'm kind of done with those in games, but if the window dressing around that is a fun Sonic game, that might be all right. That's at least different.
Yeah, and Sonic's fast, so he'd be able to get to places faster. You wouldn't have to just walk slowly.
Yeah. It's true.
So I mean, that would help.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if there's. I also posted something while we've been talking. Some screenshots. Breaking news. Yes, there were some screenshots posted on Famitsu of the Sonic Colors Ultimate, and guess what? Look at them. What do you see?
This is the part where I show the screenshot in the video and zoom in on the thing you're supposed to be looking at. It's classic Tails?
I think it's just. I don't know if it's classic Tails. I think it's just Tails. But...
Here's the thing, because I was looking at some responses and other people talking about it. It seems like that might not actually be that might not be playable Tails, and that's just a change in the avatar, because apparently that is something that's one of the downloadable options for pre-ordering the game. So it might not actually be Tail, it might not actually be playing. You might still be playing as Sonic, and that's just the image is classic Tails or Tails or whatever.
Hey, I'm gonna cut out a screenshot from one of these that I think supports what Stefan's saying, because these are all
that looks like Sonic. The one where he's using the laser, the one where he's using the electric laser, that is clearly Sonic there. Yep.
So
it's odd. I don't.
Do you want to
like that.
customize your life icon that you're not going to pay attention to because it's Sonic colors and the game's kind of easy? Yeah, sure. I want
Is
Tails.
that a thing that they mentioned? Like, oh, customizable life icons?
It did say as part of the digital deluxe there would be like player icons or like player profile icons or something.
Yeah, it says exclusive set. Yeah, exclusive set of 4-player icons.
Yeah, but then it shows circles. Like, those aren't life icons. Those are circles of pictures in the thing. On the I don't. That would be
I want to
weird.
believe, David. I'm with you. I want this to be Tails. I want
Yeah,
you
I
break
want
this
Tails,
game.
'cause we haven't play. I want Tails. Like to just say, oh yeah, you can switch the life icon to Tails, but it's still Sonic, is dumb.
It's really stupid.
Yeah, like that. Like no, don't do that. No.
If that's the case, though, I'd circle back to my point of why the fuck didn't you show this? I get that it's
Right.
like 3 months out, but like, come on, man.
3 months isn't a lot of time when you
Yeah.
think about it, especially in these days when time just doesn't exist. Like you blink and the year's gone. So it's like 3 months is nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it does look like Sonic in that shot. Like, oh, good idea. That's so
Unless the people porting this game are maybe getting some of the technical aspects wrong, perhaps, and they didn't adjust the player character model or the animation, or maybe this is like a different animation set for Sonic going through. So it's technically Tails, but it's showing the Sonic animation because there isn't a Tails animation, which is a stretch. But I'm not going to say that's impossible. Considering
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
Because something has to make this make sense, and if it's just you can switch the life icon, then fuck off.
Yeah, that's not an option anyone's ever. Doesn't even make sense because you'd be no. That means like, oh, here I'm playing a Sonic the Hedgehog, but there's Big the Cat in the corner. No, or like, hey,
well, that sounds
I'm riding
okay.
around in Falcons, but what's in the corner? Jet the Hawk? No, I don't think so. I don't know. No, I refuse. I reject this.
I
want to
kinda-
believe.
Yeah, I kind of actually like those examples though, because it's kind of a shit post to just be like, yeah, I got Jet the Hawk in the corner. Remember that guy? Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I think my biggest hope in summation is that I would exit this today with either a really good looking Sonic Adventure remake, which I think the dream's officially dead on that. Maybe permanently even at this point.
Yeah.
Or I wanted to walk away and feel really good about the future of Sonic and like have an idea of like if I can at least comfortably look forward to games in the next 5 years with some positivity. And I'm where I've been for like 4 or 5 years already, where I'm like, well, and I don't like being in this teetering spot of like, might work out. I don't know. I just wanted to feel more assured. I think they announced what they had to announce well, and I don't like that I might have to wait another year and a half to know if Sega finally turned the boat around on Sonic quality. It looks like in Japan, Sonic Colors Ultimate will come with a Life in Sonic's World Volume 1 book and a CD, which maybe suggests an audio drama? What the fuck are they doing? It's a CD.
For which one? What?
Okay, I'm
Good
reading
color?
the translation here. Sonic Colors Ultimate, the 30th Anniversary Package Limited Edition. It is a luxurious set of art book that contains art book compilation CD to enjoy the art book from your ears and 30th Anniversary Collector's Coin.
That
I'd love to enjoy
That-
the art book from my ears, Sega. Thank you. Now I feel better about Sonic.
that's weird. That's a weird translation. Thank you, Google.
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, maybe it's a. I mean, maybe it's a soundtrack CD. Where is this? What are you looking at?
I put it in our little secret area.
Oh, did
on the
you?
server.
I didn't. Oh, there it is now. It wasn't
Yeah.
there before when I looked.
Yeah, I put it after you
Yeah.
looked just to fuck with you.
Yeah, CD Life in Sonic's World. You know, God, Life in Sonic. It might be. Maybe it is. Oh no! If that's an additional story, extra canon, I don't. What? Okay, we'll do it. It's fine, unless it is just like here's pictures of Sonic hanging out in his world, and it's like
In his world.
Sonic the Hedgehog likes to sit around and do nothing.
What if this was like still frames from the little cartoons they're doing, put into a cute little kid's book or something? And it's like telling the story of the cartoon but in book form.
Oh,
That'd be
would
okay.
neat. Yeah.
But man, a full-on Sonic audio drama in Japanese would be really funny too.
Yes, it would.
I don't, but I kind of dominated the conversation there for a bit. Do you guys have any closing thoughts or things you just want to throw out while we're here? Yeah, I'm saying.
Pretty much we got through everything.
Yeah.
I guess you know, I'm definitely. But before this started, I know there was a part of me that's like, oh, was this going to just leave me with an unnerving sense of dread? But you know, I didn't watch it and go, oh no, this is bad. I think there are definitely some fun things shown off, and like you know, excited about, like I am excited about the compilation, even though I own Sonic 120,000 times. Having colors on a modern hardware, like that's neat. I like that. And you know, I am cautiously curious about the about the new game. I mean, the CG looks nice, so, and I mean, I am, of course, I'm curious about what the story is, but at the very least, I just want it to be a good game, you know. Something I can sit down, play, and not go, why did I do that at the end? You know, just like something that feels solid, something that, you know, that has a good foundation, has some neat stuff on top, where I'm like, okay, here we go. Like this is good and will lead to something great. And I mean, if it is just great already, then great. But yeah. So, I had someone look into the Sonic Colors tweet. It seems like it is maybe just strictly an art book, and that it might be the illustrations that the Japanese Sonic Twitter has been posting over the months, maybe.
Oh, the Sonic Channel calendar stories, you mean?
Yeah, and those do have little descriptions, so maybe it's someone reading those, or it's expanding a little, or, you know, they have been writing those stories on Sonic Channel. But there's also a coin. Yeah. So fun. I mean, it could be just that, which you know, would be neat. But yeah, you know, I'm surprised that you know, it was put together well. It was nice to see things. Yes, cautiously curious. I'm not sure what else they're gonna do for the rest of the year. I mean, technically at this point there is only one game coming out in 2021.
Yeah,
the collection is next year.
They did threateningly say they'd have more to announce soon, for whatever that could mean.
Yeah, and I mean that could be something like, oh, now we're going to talk about other things that are happening on the mobile side, or other crossover promotions. Maybe something to do with, maybe eventually they'll show Sonic Prime on a Sonic Central. They'll be like, here's the first episode. Haha, not really.
Maybe at E3 there might be something.
I guess it depends how much is planned out and what, you know, their partners are willing to show. I mean, it would be impressive if one of these Sonic Centrals had a trailer for the movie, but I feel like that's a long shot. But you never know. So
I agree with that.
Yeah, it does feel like Prime and the movie are probably going to do their big reveals on their own, because like Netflix and Paramount have their own kind of like we want to control our marketing and we want to control what you see, and it's like, yeah, so like the fact that they let like the Man of Action people talk on, like the fact that they showed them and had Kelly talk on there in general is like that already is kind of like that already was a big surprise to me.
yeah.
Netflix does have Geeked Week, June 7th to June 10th. Maybe, just maybe.
I don't think it's going to be there, because I feel like it's still a bit too early to show. Like I feel like the first stuff for Prime we're going to see is a full trailer. I feel safe in saying that.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Might be possible 2-second thing sneaks out of a sizzle reel, maybe. But yeah, I think ultimately I'm with you. I think when they show this thing, it's something they really prepared and put together. So, yeah, Sonic.
Well,
The stopgaps seem fun, at least. I guess
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm at. But I think that's everything.
Well, there's Steven. Do you got something to say, Mr. The Smooth?
What do you think about
yeah.
Sonic, Steven?
What you got some closing thoughts?
Oh yeah,
Beautiful dream.
my closing thought is I hope everyone enjoyed listening to four grown men talk about children's entertainment
Pog.
for an hour and a half.
Is that how long it was? Oh, it was. I thought it was like half an hour. I'm sorry, boys.
Well, I guess that's why next week we'll be going into our deep dive of Peppa Pig.
Yeah. I can't wait for the tweet this time that's like, how'd they talk about a 12-minute video for an hour and a half?
Hey, to be fair, there was a lot to go through. It's not like when we stretch out those other conversations for an hour and there was nothing.
Hey, we don't stretch out any conversation.
To be fair, the last time we did this, it was a 10-second video for an hour, and it was like just one paragraph for an hour. So the fact that we talked about 12-minute video for an hour and a half is actually better in comparison.
Yeah, we're improving. Come on, guys. Okay, but yeah, thanks. Go watch our Sonic 3 Let's Play. I think it's pretty good. I like it a lot. If you already watched it, I don't know. Just watch it again. Bye, everybody.
Bye.